Okay, so basically, I'm gonna do a live reaction to this episode 10, and basically, I'm going to watch it and probably increase the speed a little bit because I've already seen the episode, so I'm just gonna watch it again and give you guys my live reaction to it as I'm doing it. Okay, girl, it's getting started. Hold on. Okay, so we already starting off with the scene. Okay, first we see Trig's old friend is in the truck, is in the car with him as the ambulance is picking up Gemma's dad and taking him to the hospital. I guess he called him for something, for backup, for support or something. I don't know. I thought their friendship was over with after he disrespected his girl. But anyway, so he back. They talking about whatever, and the next scene after that is Nina, you know, not confronting Dre, but like kind of like asking her like, so what are we gonna do now? You know, now that I told you, you know, that I cheated or whatever, how we gonna go about fixing the situation? Obviously, Dre's pissed off. Obviously, Dre's like, fix the situation, girl. You gonna have to give me some time. You know what I mean? Because that was not what I was expecting from you at all. You know. So she's clearly very upset, which is understandable. I do think she's gonna come around to forgiving her ultimately, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so we get to the scene where apparently Kev let this little raggedy girl Lene stay in his room overnight because apparently, like I said, she was gonna be in the house by herself. She didn't want to stay in the house by herself. So he kind of invited her to stay at his house. So she slept in his room the night before. You see the scene, they waking up in the morning. She checking her phone. She realized, oh my God, it's late. I got to get back home. So she grabbing her stuff, trying to get herself together. Kev was looking at her like, what's the problem? Why you in a rush or whatever? And she's like, oh, I got to get back home. He trying to walk her out. She's shutting him down yet again. You know, this is another reason why I don't see it for this girl. Because, like, he's trying to be nice to you, girl. Like, I understand you've been through some things. Relax. Like, pump your brakes. Like, she's doing the most. But anyway, Kev's like, let me walk you out. She's like, no, I got it. I don't need you to walk me out type thing. All this attitude after he let you stay in his room last night. And he didn't even touch on your raggedy butt. Girl, get out of here. She get on my nerves. Anyway, we at the scene where apparently Jake and Gemma is laid up somewhere and, you know, they waking up or whatever. He's up already because apparently he must have not slept at all because of his conscience. She's like, hey, you. He's like, hey. And then she's like, oh, my eyes open. He probably ain't slept all night. And she's like, oh, hey, you, whatever. And then she realizes what time it is. And she's like, oh, I got to get home before my dad wakes up. Yeah, yeah. And so Jake is like, oh, really? You got to go right now type of thing? And then she's like, yeah, if he gets up before I'm home, he's going to kill me type of thing. Jake, knowing what he knows about her dad, is like trying to think of something to keep her from going home right away. So he's like, oh, let's just, you know what? By the time I bring you there, it'll be too late to get you home before your father wakes up. So you might as well just stay with me. Let's have breakfast, and then, you know, I'll take you back after. So Gemma's like, okay, that's fine or whatever. So they go for breakfast, I guess, before he gets ready to take her home. Still hasn't told her anything. So we'll see how that goes. So y'all remember last episode when I was like, you know what, this Lene girl is too much trouble. So apparently she's leaving out of Kevin's house. She runs into Dre downstairs. Dre's like, what the hell are you doing in my house? Like, granted, she's a counselor, so she used to see, I think, Lene and her brother, sister, whatever, her family members. She used to counsel them because they were having issues. And now she sees this girl walking out of her house at like whatever time in the morning. And she's like, what are you doing here type of thing. Lene explains, oh, there was nobody at home. I got into it with my brother's girlfriend. And she said she don't want me to stay there anymore. So on and so forth. So Dre is like, okay, it's not okay for you to just stay here randomly, but we gotta find something. We gotta figure out something for you to do because you can't just be out on these streets, basically. So I guess, you know, Dre is trying to come up with a solution for Lene. if she can't stay with her brother's girlfriend anymore, and what that's going to be like for her, because apparently Dre kind of had the same situation or similar situation growing up. She was kicked out when she was young, probably due to her sexuality or whatever. She didn't say that, but I'm just assuming. And so she knows what it's like to grow up really young and not really have that support, and it can be very detrimental if you don't find the right help in the good in a decent amount of time. Being raised by the streets is not cool. So Dre's trying to find a solution for her. Again, why is this her problem? But anyway. Okay, so apparently Shy come back around. Trey brings Shy back around his girl, Imani, or whatever her name is. And of course she is not impressed when she see him walk in. But then Trey is like, oh, Shy got something to tell you. So Shy comes in and he apologizes to Imani, which is, he did his best as far as an apology. So she's like, all right, fine, I guess we can start over type of thing, which I thought was great. At least he's trying to open up his mind a little bit and not be so, basically closed-minded. So we'll see where that goes. But okay, that was a cool scene. But now we're going to get to the scene that I really, really want to talk about. But hold on, we going to get there. You guys, can we talk about the scene with Tiff and the side dude? I don't even care to know his name. Not important. So she's sitting there handling business on the phone, handling her weed business on the phone, and the guy shows up with pizza. Talking about, you want some? She's like, I don't want no pizza this early in the morning. He's like, well, suit yourself. I'm gonna start eating his pizza. Anyway, long or short is they have a little back and forth where Tiff is like, how you feel about me leaving Emmett? He like, why would you do that? Straight up. And she's like, well, to be with you, obviously we are basically a couple anyway. And then he's like, no, we're not. Straight like that to her face. No, we're not. I don't know what you thought, but we are not that. We are friends with benefits. That's what we are. And I like it that way, and we're going to keep it that way. You heard me? That's basically what he hit Tiff with. And she sat there. Her face wasn't completely cracked. She was like semi-cracked. And she's just like, okay, bet. Like, that's what it is type of thing. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to bring this back up later, y'all. Just know that. Okay? She asked the question. He gave her the answer. Flat out. But it's going to come back up later. We'll talk about it. Okay, so then we get to the scene where Gemma now hears over the news something has happened to her father. So she's very distraught. She's crying. Jake offers to take her to the hospital to see her dad. Still did not tell her that he knew this already, but right. So next you see I guess Mr. Perry, he's having some type of press conference to announce some successful project that they had going on. Remember, he wanted to defund the police and whatever. So maybe he wanted to defund the police for his own motives because he already involved in illegal activity as it is. But anyway, so that he gets this Tracy lady back on board. Remember, he shut her down before for some reason. And when she was trying to do this community protection thing. So he brings her back on board now. They're doing a little press conference. They even asked him about the guy who got assaulted in his home or whatever. They even asked him about that during the press conference. And Judah gonna be like, oh, we don't have all the facts, but I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. This dirty mother. I can't wait for him to go to jail. I can't wait. So we back with Tiff and Emmett again. Emmett is at home under the sheets looking all depressed and shit. Tiff coming home and he like, oh, what's up? And she's like, oh, what's up? And then he's like, oh, so straight up, who you gonna be with? You gonna be with me or you gonna be with Dante, her side dude? And she's like, I don't know, and I don't feel like going through this with you right now or whatever. And he's like, well, listen, I'm tired of this crap. You gotta choose. We can't do this back and forth stuff anymore. And Tiff is got the nerve to be shocked or whatever when Emmett be like, well, you know what? I'm moving out. If you want Dante, you can have him. I'm done. Thank you, but I'm done. So Tiff is like, what? Her face semi-cracked. And I don't know why she's shocked though, because he been telling you this, Tiff. He been telling you this. He want more. And how long you think he gonna wait? That's all I'm saying. I'm not here. I'm not Team Emmett. Don't get me wrong. I'm not Team Emmett by any means. But at this rate, I can't be on Team Tiff either, because Tiff is doing this man dirty. And like, not fully, because fair is fair to some extent, but when he's actually expressing to you that, okay, enough is enough, I don't want to cheat anymore, I don't want you to be seeing anybody else anymore, can we at least try this, you know? He's practically begging Tiff. Like, I don't know what more she want really, but got the nerve to be surprised when he's talking about, oh, I'm moving out. Okay, let's see how that go. Okay, so Lene is at the community center or wherever it is that Dre works as a counselor, and Dre's talking to her about her situation again. She's trying to figure out, so basically she offers her to stay with her. She's like, do you want to stay with me and my family until you find somewhere else to go type situation? And Lene is not really here for it. She's just like, stay with you and your family. Ain't your house already full type thing? But she offered it to her. She said she'd think about it and she'll get back to her. So, because she don't want her staying on the street. She don't want her, like, you know, in limbo. So Dre's just offering her an alternative. And right now, Lene is being a real hard ass about it. But we'll see what that turns out to be. Then the next scene is, you know, of course, Jake and Gemma and Traeger at the hospital, you know, checking on her dad. You know, his condition is still kind of up in the air at the moment. And so once she gets, you know, lays eyes on him or whatever, and she kind of cries her little tears, then Gemma's like, oh, wait a minute. He has cameras in the house. We got to find out who did this to my dad. So now, you know, as minute she mentioned something about cameras, Jake is tripping, because he's like, oh, wait, cameras? Not only is the camera going to show her who did that to her dad, the camera's going to show her that Jake was there, that he saw that shit and didn't say nothing to her. Granted, he came in after the fact, after he was already beat up, but that's not the point. Is he was there. It will show that he walked into the house, he saw what happened, walked out, and did not say anything. So you know Jake is he's shitting bricks right now, because he's like, oh, if she run them cameras, she gonna see the truth, and she gonna be pissed that I didn't say anything about it. So let's see how that transpires. That's gonna be interesting. Interesting indeed. Jake finally tells Gemma right before she gets ready to view the cameras at her house that, you know, he saw her dad there. And well, she reacted as expected. She was upset, like, you know, how could you not tell me? Basically, he was just telling her, like, listen, my brother saved your dad. Like, my brother ended up taking him to the Senate, calling an ambulance for him and everything. But if you tell on us, then my brother can end up going to jail, and then what's going to happen to me type of thing. So, you know, Gemma was upset, but she went to go look at the cameras, and we'll see how she going to deal with the whole Jake situation after, because I would be upset too. I get it. Okay, so we get to a scene where Keisha and Christian are together, and he gave her hand-picked flowers and a note saying, do you want to be my lady? Yes or no? Check the box. And so Keisha, obviously, she gets a pen from him. She checks the box. She gives him the note back, and it says, yeah, sure, whatever. And she's like, oh, thank you for making me feel good again. And, like, guys, this is what I wanted for her. This is what I wanted for Keisha, for her to feel good again, for her to feel like herself again. She's been through so much. Like, she just needs a break, you know? And I feel like this is cool. Like, even though he's kind of a corny guy, but, like, Sometimes that's exactly what a girl needs in her life, is that corny guy. I'm just saying. And right now he's giving me life. I mean, I'm here for this. Okay, I'm here for it. Keisha, get your man. So, um, so Tracy is sitting at dinner at a dining room table with Duda. She see through his bullshit now. She see through the bullshit because she asked him straight up, "Are you responsible for Marcus being in the hospital?" He gonna lie to her straight to her face and be like, "Oh no, absolutely not. Somebody get this man out of here." I mean, even she can see through the bullshit, but she gonna then, "Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean to accuse you of." You were right. Don't let your instincts fool you. You were right. Tracy going, I mean, she's sleeping with the guy. She should know. He's so grimy. It's not funny. He's so grimy. So Gemma comes by Jake's house and lets him know that she got the footage of what happened to her dad. She didn't watch it, but she had some time to think about it, and the hospital even called and let her know that her dad is going to be okay. He's going to make it. So that kind of changed her opinion on the whole situation, and she was like, you know what, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to release the footage because I do believe that, you know, speaking to Trig, that Trig was part of the reason why her father survived. So she decided to let the whole thing go and let bygones be bygones. So Trig was grateful for that. He thanked her. Jake was happy about the news that her dad was going to be fine. And, you know, then they ran off to the hospital to go see her dad. So now Trig is going to watch the footage and see what exactly is on there, because she gave him the footage, the only copy of it. So Trig rolls up on Duda with the footage in hand, cause he got the trump card. So he walks in, tell Duda straight up, listen, I don't want no money. I just need you to disappear. You need to get out of this city. You need to go somewhere, and we don't never need to hear from you again. And if you decide not to do that, I'm about to release this footage to the news, and everybody gonna really know who Mayor Perry really is. Okay? So that's it. That's it. He tried to threaten him. Perry, that is. Tried to threaten Trig. Tried to say, oh, I'll kill your whole family. All of that. Meanwhile, Trig is like, you know what? You can say what you want, but at the end of the day, this footage is very damning, which it is. That is basically you caught on camera assaulting the guy, and there's no way around that, sir. So you need to do what he says. But he's trying to play tough, like, oh, it's not gonna bother him. Okay. Now, remember that lady Tracy who asked him that question, did you have anything to do with it? And he said no. She's still at his house. She's still at his house. So when Trig going off on him, talking about, okay, if you don't get out of here, I'm gonna release this footage to the news, and it's gonna be over for you, bruh. Over for you. And by the way, before he walks out, he says, and tell Tracy I said hello. Tracy is in the other room hearing this whole conversation, and she is gooped, okay? Because she is like, didn't I just ask this nigga this? And he told me he had nothing to do with it. This man just came in here and said he has it on video assaulting this man. Oh no. Tracy, you better cut your ties, homegirl. You better cut your ties, because you're going to be under the jail with him in a minute. His dirty self. Alright, so Emmett gets to meet Keisha's little boyfriend, Christian. He's filling him out. He's like, where you get this guy from? But like, I like the whole dynamic of the whole trio. It's really cool. That little scene was cute. So Keisha's like, you know, she's bringing him around now. That's her official boyfriend. So I was like, okay, get your man, Keisha. So there's that. And then Dre brings up the Lene situation with Nina. Like, okay, so listen, I know this girl. She doesn't have a place to stay. Can she live with us for a little while? And of course, Nina was taken aback, like, wait a minute, another mouth to feed? But she was like, all right, I get it. You know, that's part of what I love about Dre, is that she is so caring about people, you know? So she said, okay, fine, she can stay with us for a little while or whatever. And then Dre says, okay, well, we can work on this marriage too. You know, if you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to do the work. So they're probably going to end up in counseling or something like that. But ultimately, they're going to work it out, which is what I thought. So, yay for that. That's really cool. Then we get into the scene with Emmett and Tiff. Girl. Okay, so now Tiff and Emmett are on the stairs having a little discussion. Tiff decides to tell Emmett, like, okay, I think I decided I'm going to close the marriage back up and we could just be exclusive with each other. And basically asked him, like, are you going to still cheat on me again, or what's the situation? Emmett's like, well, I'm going to try my best not to violate you again. But she wanted to hear the words, are you going to say you're not, I want you to say you're not going to cheat on me. And Emmett could not do that. Well, he was like, well, are you going to say it? And then she was like, well, never is a long time. Girl, it was a lot. Anyway, they just agreed to do their best to, you know, do right by each other. And that's going to be that. So I was here for that scene. I said, thank you, Tiff, for finally giving this man a break. Because I thought he was going to have a mental breakdown at some point. I said, But I'm here for it. I'm happy that they came to some kind of arrangement amongst the two of them. So I thought that was cool. That was definitely worth it. So I was like, go Emmett, you got your girl back. So Jada have her little recovery party that Emmett threw her. All her friends and family are around, and they're so happy that she's, you know, going into remission or getting better. So she have her little party. She thanks all the important people in her life. So I was really happy for that. Like, yay for Jada's recovery, you know? Like, that was an emotional roller coaster, but I'm glad they ended it with her getting better towards the end. Great. And then there's a little scene with Tiff and this her business partner. That's a little iffy, but hold on, let's see how that transpires. Okay, so we finally reached the end of the episode, and so Lene moves in with Kev and the rest of his family. Kev is souped up, and she's still shutting him down, like, boy, I don't even like you like that. So that's gonna be interesting. I don't know where they're gonna take that, but so yeah, and then Lene moves in, like I said. The next scene is Tiff is... Oh, yeah, remember when I was talking about Jada's party, how Tiff was talking to the business partner, the athlete guy who's her business partner, you know, who is basically paying her to do the edibles for his weed business. So, anyway, the way he was talking to her was real suspect. Like, he was being real, like, flirtatious and stuff. And she wasn't shutting it down. That's all I'm saying. And she was feeding into that shit. So I thought that was weird when she just had that conversation with Emmett. Anyway, so then the last, but second to last scene of the episode is she's in bed with Emmett, gets out the bed, gets dressed, puts on makeup, and goes to the elevator to go meet the athlete guy, or her business partner rather. And they all hugged up and kissing and stuff like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, Tiff. Did we not just have this discussion with Emmett? Did we not just say we were going to do our best to not do this cheating stuff anymore? Okay, she out here same day running off. So I don't even know what's going to happen with that. But I was disappointed in Tiff. I said, really, Tiff? This is what we're doing? All right now. And so Papa's back in the pulpit doing his podcast or whatever, talking about how much he loves his city and everything is so great in his city. Everything's getting back to normal. So, I mean, it was an interesting episode. I like how they wrapped up mostly everything. Obviously, Gemma's father comes around. He wakes up from, you know, whatever state he was in the hospital. you know, everybody's trying to work things out again. Duda is leaving the city, thank God. And I think that lady, who Candy was playing, is gonna take his place as mayor since he's leaving the city or vacating his position. And so they ended with their little block party, which was in celebration of them having the funds to do the whole community protection project. So overall, the episode was really good. Like I said, they wrapped up everything pretty good. We found out what happened. Wow, my light just went out. That's how you feel? Hold on a second. Anyway, so can't believe my light just went off. So anyway, but yeah, so that was the end of the episode. Everything I liked the overall season. Some episodes were better than others, but I kind of was mad that Gemma and Jake are still together. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm mad that Papa and my Asia did not get back together. Um, I'm mad at Tiff. Like, I'm mad at several things about this, the way they ended this, but maybe there'll be another season and we'll see how that goes. But girl, like this last episode was, it was something. So anyway, now I'm gonna see y'all next time with the next show that I'm gonna review. I don't even know what that's gonna be, but so we finished The Shy. It was great. So let me know how you felt about that last episode. I thought it was alright. It was cool. Um, See y'all next time. See you when I see you.